The last time you guys were here for the test, it wasn't so good. Is that in the back of your mind and hoping to atone for that?
I mean, it's something we certainly want to learn from and improve on as a test team, and we had a couple of tests at home which we took some steps in the right direction, which was great, but obviously being a different format, a number of different things to focus on, and that's what we'll look to do in these sort of few games, is build on the performances that we have done in recent times, but really important to play smart cricket, because obviously it's a little bit different here than it is perhaps in other parts of the world.
Kane, just not to harp on that, but is the difference just home conditions, or was it greater than that? Because when you watch the way you guys played against India and the way you played here, it was very, very different. It looked like different teams.
In Test cricket?
In Test cricket, yeah, just before.
I think when you lose and particularly get exposed in such a large way, it's not just conditions. Aussie, one of the top Test teams in the world, and particularly clinical on these surfaces as well. But when you do get exposed like that, are some of the best opportunities to learn and take a look at yourselves as individuals and as a team, and sort of the direction that you want to go in. So despite them teaching you a number of lessons and it not being ideal, it's also, like I say, the greatest opportunities to learn and grow.
You come here as one of the best one-day teams in the world, having been in the final last year of the World Cup. Do you play with your full 11, or is it again one of rotation in terms of 3 games here?
Rotation's never sort of been a word I've enjoyed too much, but it's more about horses for courses and trying to put out the best team suited to that. And the one day side's been tracking nicely, but you don't sort of look back too much on past performances, because as we know, the conditions and playing other sides can vary so much. So it's just trying to execute our plans as well as we can over here, which may well be slightly different looking at the surface.
The relevance of this series, or the timing of this series, has been questioned. Is it relevant?
I mean, the international calendar is what it is, I suppose, and you follow it, and it's always been there. So you kind of crack on and put your head down and try and put out good performances as a side. And our focus is always about improving. So these are more opportunities to do that.
How important is the Chappell-Hadlee series then, the trophy?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's interesting. You put context in around all different things as much as you can, but our focus is much more about improving and playing better cricket, and then at the end of that, what might come is a nice thing perhaps, but it is about playing the cricket that we want to play, and that's the focus.
Coronavirus precautions, preparations, briefings, anything you've had?
Yeah, I mean, a number of emails from medical staff back home, and obviously the upkeep of good hygiene and these sorts of things, but a concern all around the world at the moment, and in other countries affected a lot more at the moment, but yeah, it's sort of no one's exempt, is it? And it seems to be travelling the globe, so something you need to be very cautious of.
Are you a fist bump guy or a handshake guy?
Oh, I haven't shaken your hand yet, but we'll see. I don't know, I haven't thought too much about it. But
what about controlling the ball? I know it's not in this current climate, is that something that might have to be spoken about?
Yeah, I hadn't actually thought much about that, but it's not I guess it's not a big part of the white ball format, but I suppose you can never be too cautious in terms of keeping up that good hygiene, because clearly a pretty horrible thing that's going around at the moment.
They're stopping performances that have been called for the motor racing to be stopped because of crowds, and there's been a festival in Hobart stop. Is there any talk of not playing these games?
Not that I'm aware of, but obviously a lot of uncertainty going on with large crowds at the moment, and hopefully it's no issue here in playing these games, and hopefully we get some really good healthy crowds. But yeah, it sort of seems to pop up almost all of a sudden where some of those decisions are being made, and obviously it's been taken incredibly seriously for rightly so. So I guess we'll wait and see, but focus on what's in front of us at the moment.
Do you think you have a chance of playing 2 spinners out there, late season sort of pitch here in Sydney?
Yeah, 2 spinners in the squad. Obviously not a huge amount of grass on it, so we'll have another look tomorrow.
I know you talked about as a team sort of having moved past from that, well, the Indian games giving you a fair bit of confidence, but for individuals, how do you make sure there's no lingering effects with that? And a few months ago, guys like Mitch Stanton, if you play 2 spinners, obviously he didn't have the best month or so in Australia.
Yeah, Mitch is sort of one of the best white ball spinners in the world, so I guess for him it's just adjusting his game back to that white ball cricket, and as we know, the different formats bring quite different skill sets, so he's a large part of our team and our bowling attack, and you throw in Ish Sodhi as well as another option, so a couple of strong spinners in our squad that might get a go on this surface. We'll have to see.
How's it feel wearing the retro kits?
Yeah, similar to the black until you look at it, but it's pretty cool, isn't it? Both teams going to be doing something a little bit different, which is it's nice, something different.